Soulful Stories. This is going to be a podcast talking about mediumship and all kinds of mediums and how they work and how you get different bits of evidence and stuff like that. You got myself, Scott the medium,
PPL,
and Brandon Brown,
and we got Brandon.
the large.
Yeah, the two mediums and a large. Brandon and Liam. Liam's a medium. He can work with the spirit world.
was a lot.
But he chooses not to. So Brandon and Liam kind of just come in with me and help me set up when we do investigations. So yeah, I think probably the basics really, ain't it? Like to start with mediumship. How I got into mediumship was a bit strange, really. Just while I'm talking to you guys, we've also got the TikTok live streaming, so I'll be multitasking. Hi everybody on TikTok, welcome in guys, welcome in. Hiya Samantha. So we joined the Mayor's charity team, didn't we?
We did.
Me and
Not long
Liam.
after Dad died.
Yeah, my dad had died, and our friends, well, my mum's friend Sylv, which is our friend as well, over the road, was on the Mayor's charity team, and my mum joined, and then Liam joined, and then, well, Liam was actually like a bit of a spokesperson. He got an award from the mayor and everything, didn't you? For like
Half the people at school down
Still got the photo for that.
Yeah, got the photo
Clue
for
why
that.
I'd got a medal for that.
Yeah, it was for him like doing charity work and everything, wasn't it?
Work,
Yeah, like for the community and stuff. But anyway, don't want to get too sidetracked, but I am happy just to talk. You will find that. So, so after he got that, I lost my job. Well, I kind of just walked out because it was just premiering.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're lagging so bad.
Sorry, guys. I forgot to bring the bloody signal boost out. I can't run up the house now. So I ended up joining the charity team just to get me out a little bit more, and we'd finished an event and we was washing the cars, wasn't we?
Yeah.
And
Washing the cars?
I was washing Gary's car out front, the white BM.
Can't remember that one.
Oh, I can. So we was washing the cars. I said his name now. I don't know if I should, like, but yeah, it was his name.
I mean, the kid's the Gary Perry.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a good chap. And we ended up going to the Spiritist Church, and one of the nights, once we get the video stuff working properly and everything, I'll bring Lil and Carol down. They're things that I got up in my bedroom, and I met Lil and Carol, and I remember walking in the church and just feeling like I'd gone home, like I'd literally just turned up at home. And it was a feeling that you can't really describe without feeling it yourself. So, after the service...
How many people we got in?
It's unwatchable.
Okay, I'll go and run up and get the...
Go on then. So I met Lil, and she pulled me out of the congregation on the first night, and was just like, "You've got the ability to work with the spirit world. We've got to get you working. You're a natural born medium." And I never really knew what that meant. Obviously, learning more. I shouldn't say learning, because it's not something you just pick up a textbook and read. You have to trust your guides in the spirit world. If you've got any questions, B, just chuck them in and I'll answer them as we're going along.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm a natural born medium, which means I've been doing it from birth. And when I started to work with the spirit world, it was easier for me to kind of understand my signals and my guides and all that stuff, because again, I was a natural. But Lil pulled me out and she says, "We've got to get you working." And then she just gave me a bunch of ribbons, and she went, "Just get people to give him a bit of a rub and a feel and give him a reading." And I just thought, what the hell am I doing here?
So, sorry to interrupt, was she your inspiration in getting into it?
She was. Her and Carol are my inspirations, definitely. As we talk more, I'll talk about them and stuff. But yeah, they were definitely my inspirers, 100%. They pushed me, in a good way to be a better medium than some mediums that I'm around, and to appreciate the spirit world, to make sure they understand it's not about making thousands, it's about helping people, which is what I like to do. Lil always said to me, if you turn up to somebody's house and they can't afford that 20, 30 quid, whatever you charge, you give them that reading and then you walk away with nothing. Because spiritualism is about giving back. It shouldn't be about greed, which again is something I'm hoping to, if you guys enjoy, to kind of point out to you, to what to watch out for, what not to attract to different mediums. But let me just get back to.
Should we pause while in?
Nah, he's alright. He's just getting the signal booster going, hopefully. Alright guys, we are, he's put the signal booster down, so I'm hoping we can get a better signal for yous. If not, we'll have to look into bloody doing something for that. So what part of your life did you wake up and think, what is this feeling? It's not natural. What is it? And what made you become a medium? Well, that's a good question, because I did forget a bit of the story, so... a couple of months before I went to church and met Lil, I said to my mum, I've got to go for an MRI on my brain. I said, because I'm going crazy.
How old was you?
21-ish, round there.
Okay.
20, because I went to Australia and I was 21 and I was doing mediumship then, so I've got to be 20, yeah.
You can't pick up the internet this far down here.
Okay.
So you'll have to use what?
Okay. Could always just get a 10-foot frigging Ethernet cable. So yeah, I was lying on my bed and I said to Mum, I need to have an MRI because I'm going crazy. I'm having all these feelings, emotions, and they just wasn't mine. I knew that what I was feeling wasn't me, and what I'd done is I'd opened myself up unknowingly, and I was picking up on energies, and spirit were trying to get through and talk to me, and I just didn't know what to do. And then I ended up at church. Lil found me, and then she pushed me in the right way, because I was lost. I mean, if we're going to be completely honest, I was lost. I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing in life, and I was annoyed with myself more than anything, because I'm always a positive person. I always put a positive spin on everything, and I always know where I want to go. But for those first few years into spiritualism, I was lost just before that. And then coming into spiritualism, it just opened up my life to different friends, and different energies, and going out and having a laugh, meeting other people, giving them positive messages, and it changed my vibe and the way I was looking at life. Because I was done, I'd had enough, I'll be honest. I wasn't at that stage to take life, but I was at that stage where I could have just lied in bed all day, every day, and that was it.
Zero motivation.
It's quite a significant coincidence that it came at that time in your life, then, isn't it?
And that's what I mean. I don't really believe in I used to believe in coincidence, but I don't anymore. It's fate and it's destiny. I was supposed to go on that charity team. I was supposed to meet Lil. I was supposed to meet Carol and get where I am today. And for me, mediumship did come kind of easy. Some people will sit 4 or 5 years before they go out onto the circus, and I think, again, I'm not big-headed. I don't need approval or anything, and I hate when people go, oh, he's a good medium, because that just puts the pressure on. I don't need that stuff. I'm happy just turning up, doing the work, and then you can thank me afterwards, you know what I mean? I don't need this oh, he's a great medium, and oh, you'll have a great time, because when a certain person used to do that, it just put me off, and it made me feel like I had to perform.
Yeah, you're a monkey.
Yeah, and it puts a lot of strain on you, and that shouldn't be what spiritualism's about. But again, sorry, went off on a little tangent. That will happen. Coming into spiritualism, it took me about 6 months, and then Lil thought she was tricking me. And we were off to this event for Joyce, who used to have the cabin in Heath Ace. Again, another lovely lady. And we're on the way there, and I just went to Lil, I went, I ain't sitting with anybody tonight, I'm working, ain't I? And she went, yeah, I'm chucking you in at the deep end. So, spirits will not let you have many secrets, let me tell you. You will have your own secrets, but they will let you know when and where you're going wrong and what you're doing right. And I was nervous. I was so nervous. And Lil always said, and it's something that I still hold on to today, those nerves are good because it shows that you care. The minute those nerves go away, you've become too confident and too cocky. It's time for you to hang up your boots. And I've always believed in that, and I say that a lot when I'm out working. But
I mean, Circle, we started going to the pub first, didn't we?
You joined when we went to the pub. When I first met Lil and Carol, there was a third lady. I'm not going to mention her name. She don't deserve any recognition. But there was another lady.
We'll call her, is it?
No, I'm just another lady. That's it.
Call her Bob.
I'd call her more than Bob. Let me tell you, because I couldn't build a fucking house if you asked her to. But anyway, there was another lady. There was 3 of them, and they all worked together. Then I kind of came in on the back end and was their 4th.
Yeah. And
we did some Circle before you joined, Liam, at the flower shop. We did some meditation, circle, stuff like that up at a flower shop. Yes, that's what I mean. You were there then. That was when there was only about 4 of us, 5 of us in the back of the flower shop. As you're going through Blacknell, you got Field Road, Chippy, and then you got the flower shop.
Oh yeah.
I'm positive. I'm positive that was the flower shop. I know it wasn't too far.
Not far from Bloxers.
Yeah, and that's where we used to sit first, and then we went to, is it Sedgley?
Yes.
And then we went to Sedgley for a beer. And we did, when we did, what was the name of the pub now? Can you remember? I can't remember. Yeah, there was a pub in Sedgley that we went to for a beer and did a church there. We ran the church on the top floor. And then we did Circle there.
I wasn't at that one.
No, and then we moved to the Little Bloxwich. The pub in Little Bloxwich, which is when Liam came, and a lot more people came. We had about 12 or 13 of us.
We had another person.
And then we had another person. I don't mind saying his name. He turned out to be a bit of a idiot. Supposed to be a friend, but didn't check in. But Darren ran the Circle, and he kind of tried to take me under his ring, but I didn't really take to him. Wing. I know. I thought I said ring, but I just kind of carried on under his wing, and I liked him. Don't get me wrong, but I just didn't.
Sometimes you got that vibe, didn't you?
Yeah, I just didn't attach to him, and I was more happy just working with Lil and Carol and being with them and their energies. But again, the one thing that I do always remember, which is what he taught us, is that, the minute you go to Wales and work, which is what we used to do, we used to go to, my God, I named it the other day, now I can't think of it.
I haven't got a clue.
We worked in Wales, and he said, now you get the right to call yourself an international medium. What's the matter? What?
I've done my first boo-boo of the podcast. I haven't plugged in the fucking charger.
Oh dear.
So I got 20%.
I'll get the charger in.
Do you mind just setting the charger at random? please.
You'll have to cut some of this out.
Let's do it straight.
No, okay, we'll just keep it straight.
Keep it straight. So I remember joining the circle, I think when I was about 14, I think, or 15.
Yeah, 15, because it's got to be 16 and over preferably. But yes, you joined
the
circle.
middle exception for me, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah.
And it was just starting off the journey. It was in the back room.
Yeah, in the little back room, that's right, yeah.
There was about 4 of us there, 5 of us, weren't there?
At first there was, yeah.
And then there was you guys as well. 3 students.
3 students, 2 teachers.
A battery.
There was me, you and Kate, wasn't there?
Yes.
Me, you, Kate. And then after a while, a couple more turned up and stuff like that. But yeah, again, working in a circle is something that you need to do, and meditating is something that you need to do. I see a lot of people talking about, like, oh, you don't need to meditate, you just fall asleep.
I do fall asleep.
You do fall asleep sometimes, but if you are proper meditating, and
what does the meditation do?
Oh, go on.
My experience.
Because you got to remember, I'm not the same. I don't have any spiritualism. I believe in it, but I've never really adventured it.
That's fine.
So I am like ultimate rookie.
Oh yeah, Shadow, you try and meditate.
Yeah, meditating is definitely.
Yeah. From my understanding, when you meditate, you're meant to open up.
Yeah.
And you get in this lovely country lane with the sun.
Not too much, because
and then you go through, and then you ask your guides and that to come through.
Yeah.
I don't think you really had. We never really asked Tyler one. It was your guides.
It's just your guides and inspirers, isn't it?
Are you guides assigned?
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, yes. But how that works,
we don't know.
It's the law.
It's
really.
the law over there, because
the spirit law. It's very weird, and I think I was always doubting myself all the time.
He was,
and that's the one thing that kind of made me stop. Really, was I never could say that. Yeah, that was me.
Even though he gave the lady what she had for a tea that night,
and he actually managed to get my granddad come through, which was absolutely crazy.
Someone.
See, I was pressured into doing that by him.
Well, yeah, it was only for a joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was pressured into it, and I think because he wanted it, I proved my point to him.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
And I was
proved
absolutely
to him
gobsmacked.
I can do it, so fuck off, stop asking me.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. So yeah, you ask your guides and your inspirers, and then you sit by the lake, and then you see this figure, and you see him come forward, and then
Could be a her.
or a her. You see a figure.
Why did I just take a picture?
That's finished recording now.
Are you joking?
No.
Oh,
Is that all
bloody hell.
all the video you've got in there?
Probably.
Oh well, we'll carry on. It won't hurt.
But yeah,
Why don't...
we'll just carry on.
Yeah, I've got the live that I can send him over, and we can always try and.
Oh, that's not long at all, is it? 20 minutes.
Nah. It's alright, but just carry on.
And then but I always dated myself thinking, am I just thinking this? So I used to think that my guide was an army bloke, very drill sergeant like, always in nice uniform, buttons done, buttons shined, boots shined, And I always wanted to say that he was bald, which to me that's quite a. Again, is that me? Am I thinking this? Am I making this up just to fill the void?
I mean, you've got to trust in yourself that you know that what you're saying and what you're feeling is right. If you when you meditate, like Liam says, you open up with a white light, and it's always best if you want to learn mediumship or you feel you've got the ability, is to go to a spiritualist church and find out if they run a circle, and the person who runs a circle then can at least protect you and make sure that nothing negative happens or anything like that. I do hate it when people say, oh, well, you can't attach anything negative if you do it on your own. Well, of course you can. Because if you're not opening up in the right way or you're not closing down in the right way, you're going to be drained. You're going to feel like death warmed up. Your emotions are going to be all over the place. And it will make you feel like you're going insane, like it made me feel. Like I say, luckily I ended up with Lil and she helped me understand. But back to Liam's point, you know, obviously, if he's coming through as a drill sergeant, they probably would have had a bald head or a very thin shaved hair. But was you thinking of a bald man in an army bloke with all buttoned up shoes?
That's how it felt like it came across.
Yeah, but was you thinking about a man like that? Or did it just happen?
I don't know.
See, he's doubting himself.
I don't know.
When I meditate... My resting, sorry. I've just had to cheese an onion sandwich before we started. Cause...
When you talk, just talk to the camera, please.
Right.
That's what it's going to be when we're going some places. I've got the mask.
I know, yeah. We are going live tomorrow over Cannock. But...
Oh, yes, we've had a change of time, guys.
Yeah, guys. What time are we going? 7?
Yeah, I think it was alright.
Are we still getting there for 6 to walk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll set off at 6.
No, we should get there for 6.
So we're leaving at 5:30. It takes about half an hour to get to camp, 20 minutes.
Yeah, we want to be there for 6 so we can just go and look at the graveyard and get our bearings because we've never been there before.
We could look at some of the names as well, just in case some of them come from the spirit pod or something.
Yeah, but that's fine. But yeah, guys, if you are coming tomorrow to meet up with us, can you just come about 7 o'clock?
Can we just show a purple heart in chat if you're coming?
If you're coming,
you can
just do it once, or a poll. Yeah, do a poll actually.
Sorry, that's my dog in the back yelping.
Quick poll.
Quick poll. So, for me, when I meditate...
Okay, hang on. So, if you come in, send a smiley face. If you're not coming, send a crying face.
And then it just gives me an idea of how many of you...
I think you have to put it in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat, yeah.
Yeah, smiley face if you're coming, sad face if you're not coming. So guys,
nobody's coming.
Oh, standard. Oh well, maybe next time.
Not everybody, not every time we will be live when we do a podcast.
Where in the country? It's in Cannock, West Midlands.
Stafford.
Oh, that's all projecting. Okay, Shadow, please do. So when I meditate, I'm doing.
Hang on, Shaddy. we need your answers in the comments.
Yeah. I always go down by a lake now. Now, I never used to. I used to go and sit under an oak tree at first.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
And that's when Lil used to lead us into meditation.
Yeah.
And for a while, you know, I'll be honest, I sat there and I got nothing. And then all of a sudden, I had a bloke step in. Full country western, flannel top, jeans.
Chloe says, I'll come if you pick me up. Sleepover.
You know, he had the cowboy boots and everything. And he just told me his name was John. And then he worked with me for about 6 months. And he showed me a couple of past life regressions, which we'll talk about a bit later on. And then a pharaoh stepped in. No, Aztec stepped in for about 3 months. And he kind of taught me a little bit more discipline and about tactile and understanding symbols. And then the pharaoh stepped in and he showed me a previous life of where I was one of the whippers when they were doing the pyramids, but I was an evil person. I mean, I was whipping them like... I was just not very nice at all.
I thought it was islands that made the pyramid.
It probably is, but again, that's for a different podcast. I'm talking spiritualism at the minute.
How many podcasts are we doing?
Well...
Ancient stories. That's how you look that way when you fucking laugh.
So,
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
so again, I got taught on the whipping, and that taught me about knowing how to push, when to push, and how to stop, and not be as aggressive or as forceful, and to take a step back and evaluate situations differently. And he brought me in just a new symbol. It was a piece of gold, and then when he rubbed it, it turned into copper. So it was kind of like, watch out for fool's gold. So not everybody is always going to be telling you the truth. And if that comes in, I know that somebody's been lied to in a reading. And then it's time just to call him Bear, because I'm too stupid to understand his name. And that's fine, because again, the spirit world have a sense of humour, guys. They're not all strict and stuff, but he's 7 foot, Native American Indian. I always get to call him Apache, and he always laughs because he knows I know it's the other one. Not Apache. What's the other tribe?
I don't know. Apache Indian, and then you've got
Red Indian.
Now, it'll come to me in a minute. He always does it to me because I'm an idiot, I've told you. But anyway, and he has the fan hats with all the fans on at the front. And then he's got the bear head that sits on his head.
Okay, that's alright.
Mate,
No.
he's 7 foot, he's built like a brick shit house. He's massive. And the bear skin rolls down his back. He's got the paws that come over on the bear paws come over to his pecs, and then the rest rolls down the back. No, that's being stereotypical. Yeah, when you trip up the stair later, that'll be him tripping you. Flute there.
Yeah, but they do that.
What do you want to start doing?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
What do you want? Is he sending fucking smoke signals as well?
I can tell him.
Oh, we got one of Chloe's work colleagues in.
Hiya, Chloe's work colleague.
What was
Welcome
the
in.
poll?
Savannah, I'm presuming.
What was the poll in?
No one was coming. Which is fine.
That's fine.
Fuck.
As long as you tune in and tap the screen.
And tap the likes. I'm happy.
I'm going to send you daily heart me's.
You ain't got to send them.
Do you have to pay for them?
Yeah?
Oh.
So it's only 1 coin.
I would tell you one coin, you tight-fisted bastard.
I ain't into that begging stuff.
Thank
No,
you very
neither am I.
much.
That's Becca B.
That's a daily heart, eh?
It is. Thank Becca.
Thank you very much.
She always gives me loads. She does as
I'll
well.
message you
Bless her. She's a nice person. So then I'm working with that guide, and he's actually been my main guide now, along with John. But I've also got a gatekeeper that I know he's just a small monk. I presume he's a monk, but he's got the overall on, and he's got his hood up.
Now, is he like a...
He's only a small fellow, probably
Is he like
5'2".
a monk or a bald monk?
I don't know, because I've never seen his face. That's why he's never showed me his face.
Is his head... Because they have like the little bit around the back there, though.
Yeah, I've never seen his face, but he protects my gate. So everybody has a door, a gate, whatever you want to call it. Every medium has one. And when we're about to work, your guides will open up the gates. Your main guide will shuffle them into order. Otherwise, they'll all just try and jump in, and then they'll work with you and your loved one in the spirit world and feed you the information that you need to pass on. So again, there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that goes into understanding who your guides are, what your guides are here for, what your symbols are going to be. I know a lot of people just think, oh, well, I'm going to go and see a medium and my nan's going to come through or something,
Yeah.
And yeah, that's great. Yeah, and that's fine. But all I will say is the real mediums work the churches. Okay, so if you want to go and see a medium, my first question would be is, do you work any churches? If they say no, I mean, that should tell you everything. Not all mediums out there are fake. Obviously, I'm talking to TikTok as well. But I've already had 7 fake profiles of me. At least 7 made already. and I've only been on there 4 weeks. So that's literally like almost 2 a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're doing it because they can see what I'm putting out. Obviously, I'm getting a lot of traction, and a lot of people are joining into my lives and liking it and posting it about, which is what I want. But then you've just got your scalpers that come in and, you know, oh, I feel somebody that you loved is feeling that love back. Am I right in feeling this? Well, one, you're asking a question, and two, you shouldn't be
asking. You've got a nan or a great nan in the spirit world. Well,
yeah.
You know, yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they use dear or love, it's instant block.
I'm getting the word fake.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I will do a lot. I do apologise.
Brandon, whereabout are we on the list?
We skipped all of them.
Because I didn't want to finish at 30 minutes.
Well, 30 minutes is probably going to be 45 to an hour. Okay, good lad.
So, we've covered
How many apps you got out?
an introduction into spiritualism, understanding mediumship, purpose of the podcast and what we aim to achieve with it.
Yeah, we'll do that now. Or should we just record that bit at the start?
No, it's going to be hard to re-record over it.
Well, if you've made it this far in, we appreciate you, because this is our first one. Obviously, we will get better at recording and uploading it and stuff, you know. Just please bear with us. But if you're into spiritualism, I mean, you ask anybody on TikTok if you follow me at Scott Humpage.
Plug.
It is only at Scott Humpage. Is it at Scott Humpage 1 No.
No, at Scott Humpage.
It's just at Scott Humpage, yeah.
Or
Or Crazy Ass Zombie.
What's
That's
his
Scott
YouTube?
with 2 T's
No.
and 1 E for Humpage.
Yeah.
Any numbers or anything like that,
Humpage.
that's all the fake ones.
Yeah. And at the minute, the picture is of the other one, not Soulful Stories.
Our ghost hunting.
Ghost
programs.
hunting, yeah.
Insights.
No,
That's the other group.
that's the other group.
That's
Abby's in that.
Supernatural
Oh, fucking hell.
Shout
Well, that's
out.
Paranormal Insights.
No, supernatural insights they are.
Oh.
So we are spirits insights.
Yeah,
Spirits
Spirits
Insight.
Insight, that's
They're
it.
still getting used to the name.
Yeah, because we've only come up with it the last couple of days, and we've just been posting
We
about
was
it and stuff.
originally throwback.
Yeah,
mediums.
Two mediums and a large, but at Brandon Smalek, that's Smalek Polish, didn't like it.
Polsky boy.
Our graphic designers had a very hard workload.
So
But-
back then in the war day, yeah.
No, they just woke up one day and Germany was there. Oh, hello!
Hi Hitler.
Literally. Oh, God.
Anyway,
But yeah,
controversy.
sidetracked again. But the purpose of this podcast is to try and hopefully, as long as it goes well, is to let you guys understand, you know, where real mediums are, where you can find them, how you can find them, what spiritualism means to me, what it means to Liam, if Brandon wants to say how he feels about it, you know. And then obviously we got the TikTok running live, and one of them or a couple of them, you know, I'll be answering their questions, and obviously I'll read out their question first, you know, and we'll just do question and answers. But we will also do like a review on our live events when we go ghost hunting. We do that every Saturday at the minute, but we're probably going to go down to twice a week.
Yeah,
Twice a week.
Yeah.
twice a month.
Oh,
Every 2 weeks.
No, sorry, not twice a week. Sorry,
Every other week.
twice a month. Sorry,
Once a fortnight.
once a fortnight. Yeah. Because obviously we're doing the podcast trying to, because there's only us three, and Liam's only going to be the one probably doing the, what's it called, editing. You know, it's going to be a lot. So just for now, we might have to go down to just 2 a month, and then the other 2 weeks I'll just be podcasting, building up a bit of a library. So we've got stuff to upload here and there, and then if we're not well, you know, there'll still be videos to upload. But yeah, you know, if you guys that are listening and you have got any questions, please drop them in the comment section. This is going to YouTube, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'll write them down, and when I do a question and answer, I will always let you know what video it's in, and I'm happy to answer any kind of questions you've got. If you're a skeptic, that's fine. I'm not here to try and convince you into believing. I'm not here for you. If you want to say that it's all fake and shit, crack on. You ain't gonna. I'm not one of them that's gonna go, oh no, he said something hurtful, block him. What's the point? You're allowed your opinion, like I'm allowed my opinion. As long as you don't berate anybody else in the comments, I don't see the point. I don't see the problem in you having your own opinion. I do say on my TikTok, and again, you can ask anybody that's been in my TikTok for the last 3-4 weeks. Do not block anybody that comes in and says it's fake or this or that, because I'm happy to say to them, sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. I don't know anybody on this TikTok, but I've given out loads of messages and I've had loads of happy people. And again, it don't make my head swell, but I just love it the way that the spirit world prove that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll be doing like stories as well. If anybody wants to send us some stories, we can be reading them out.
Any ghost stories, yeah.
There is some still EVPs that I haven't uploaded yet. I've edited them, I just haven't had a chance to upload them yet. It was from the Dudley Road factory. It was the EVPs that are we had in the fireplace, and in fact that's some of them where we've got the cockatico, which I think is I've Got to Go, wasn't it?
I Got to Go, yeah.
But when I played it to some friends at work, they reckon it says I can't get it up because we was on about it trying to get to red.
Did you just fucking flatulate?
No, I was literally sitting here
And
listening.
it wore me. You'd know. It was Liam. He's a dirt bag. I'm not allowed to because they both be at the room.
Yeah, you saw us at the Dudley Road factory. I was crawling on the floor. No, the Germans with the gas bomb. Fucking you, rebred as human, man.
That's a very good point. You didn't know anything about me, but what you told me, no one else could have known.
Who's that?
He.
Oh, he, yeah. I always consider that as well. I just think of that.
Jackson? Dead?
Yeah, like I say, I don't get a big head. I really don't. I don't need to, because I understand that it's 50-50 with the spirit world and myself. I can't work without them, and they can't work without me. And just to go back to Lil and Carol and what they drilled into me and you, as you'll know, it's not about money. It's about having the respect for yourself and the spirit world and the person that you're giving a reading
it's
for.
That feeling of when you get it right, the self-satisfaction, like the self-gratitude.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it is nice when you get that feeling of like, at least I know it wasn't me just thinking it.
It's got to be validating.
Why am I doing messages right now? I'm doing the podcast.
What do you do in a situation where you really think you've got something and they turn around and like, no, you're so far off?
Scott's rule. It's like 3 knocks, 3 hours, and then you say
that's
thank
it.
you for
Yeah,
working with me, and you move on.
And you move on.
Not for them.
Yeah. It is hard. I ain't gonna lie. When somebody sits there and tells you no, and you know what you're getting is right.
Yeah.
But you could be bringing it over in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And this is why you have to understand your symbols, and if it's got a double meaning, which meaning are you going for? Because it can happen, and it does happen. It happened on TikTok the other week. I was working with somebody, and they was like, no, and then I said, okay, give me 3 things that they can take. I normally ask for 3 birthdays, and this person said yes, and then, it was Sharon Day's daughter with the horse, and I said, I've got a horse, and she went, and I said, you've either looked after horses or you've bred horses, you've done something with horses, and she went, no, and I went, you have? And she went, no, I haven't. And then in my head, all I got was Cheltenham. And I thought that was a Grand National because I don't follow the horses.
Cheltenham, yeah, that's where they have the horse racing.
Exactly. And I said that to her. I went, Cheltenham. And I went, you would understand a picture at Cheltenham. And then she just ripped back, oh my fucking God, I did work at Cheltenham and I forgot that I had a picture taken next to the winning horse. And it's on my phone now.
That's crazy, that is.
And You know what I mean? I don't know this person. I've only spoke. Her mom has been in my life since probably day 2 or 3, and she just brought her daughter in a couple of days before, and then she just ended up with a reading, like when I just do my random readings, and you know that there was for me was not just proof of life after death. It was that little bit of you've got to trust what you're being given.
Mm-hmm.
We can forget things here where the spirit world don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they will push you in the right direction for you to go and give that message. And sometimes they're not nice messages that you've got to give. You know, if they think that a partner's playing away and you're kind of getting the same feeling, you've got to know how to bring that across without crushing them so much that they're just something silly. Because, you know, personal responsibility is one of our principles, but it was also one that Lil and Carol made me understand. You know, you've got to know when enough is enough, and if you need to butter something up just a little bit, not lie, just put it in a way where they're not going to do something silly. You know, because that responsibility lies with you at the end of the day. If you tell somebody that their partner's playing away and then they go and do something silly, yes, i.e. You know, take the life, that is on your shoulders, and that's just something that I never really want to be put into that situation. So, you know, when they ask questions around relationships and stuff like that, I will always give the honest answer from spirit. But if I know they're in a fragile state, or a state where they might do something silly, you've just got to butter it up in a way that makes a soft blow rather than a punch to the face. And that is something that people don't understand. You know, everyone's all like, oh, just give it to me straight, I can take it, until you give it to them straight and they can't. You think you can. Everybody thinks they can take it on the chin and, well, bother me. But it does, and it's fine acting like the big I am. That, you know what, crack on. But again, I know your energies, I know what your loved ones are telling me, and if they're telling me she can't take that or he can't take that, you ain't going to get it as full on the nose as what it probably should be.
Would you still tell them?
You've got to tell them, otherwise that evidence sticks with you. And spirit will poke you. What dare you tell him? Why dare you tell him?
Yeah, I've been witness to this. He's like, hang on, I've got to go over to here. And then he goes over to the person he's speaking to, and he's going, sorry, I was meant to give you this as well. Can you take this? You know, and they've been sitting there, and they've gone, yes. And he's going, thank you, because I need to tell you that, because if not, he comes sitting at home, and he's just like, should have said that. Should have said this.
And they do. You have that energy. When I first met Lil, I forgot to give her a box of Maltesers from the spirit world, and I didn't see her for a week. And every day I woke up, don't forget to give her a box of Maltesers. For a week. First thing I thought about, don't forget to give her that box of Maltesers. So, you know, the energy and stuff does stay with you. But again, you know, it is about just understanding that person, their energies, what they're going through, and how to deliver the evidence. Again, I'm not on here to try and out anybody or say this person's good, this person's crap. I'm not. I really couldn't give two.
I just realised the plate.
Yeah, it's Weatherspoons.
I love that.
Yeah, it's when the one in William all shut down them Stu and Claire's plates.
Really?
Yeah, from the dinners, because they're just chucking them all out, were they? Got glasses and everything. Yeah. So again, you know, I'm just on here giving my point of view, how I was taught, how I listen to the spirit world, how I work with the spirit world, you know. And then if you go and ask another medium, they might say, crock of shit, crack on. That they've been taught different. That doesn't mean I'm right and they're wrong and they're wrong and I'm right. It just means that our principles are just a little bit different. The spirit world work with us different. You know, not everybody's going to be the same. Can you get answers from spirit that someone here won't?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? Can you get answers from spirit that someone here wants?
What else is on the list, Bran?
I don't ask that question. I don't know what you mean, Stephanie. What do you mean, sweet? Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say it don't make sense. Sorry. If you ask a question, and you can ask questions, I hate yes and no ones, especially to do with health and relationships, because there's either one of two reasons that you're asking.
I've got a question.
Okay.
Does tarot cards work for questions? You know, when I've seen people on
So
TikTok,
many.
and them like, well, my boyfriend cheated on me again. Yes, the card is saying yes. Is that legit? In your opinion?
Not all the ones are legit. Okay, Kate was a tarot card worker, wasn't she?
Yeah, she loved the cards.
And she was a good tarot card
Massive
reader, wasn't
gambler.
she? She was a good tarot card reader.
Yeah.
Did me dirty in the end, but that doesn't matter. But she was a good tarot card reader. But again, you know, on TikTok, they're either going to tell you yes or no. That's it. For me, the ones that sit here for 5 minutes shuffling and then a card falls out, meh. You're just after the fucking £6 that you want a yes or no for. For
and
me,
if you was abusing the system, would there be any repercussions in the spirit world?
I mean,
I'd say so, yeah.
I'd like to think there was in the end. I mean, and the woman that we worked with, the third woman who ended up leaving, she got too big for the boots, and she fell quite hard from the spirit world. Ended up with working with all the stuff that she swore to blind she'd never work with, i.e. crystal balls, ribbons, stuff like that, because you don't need stuff like that to work with the spirit world, according to her, but now that's all she can use. Oh, dog barking, sorry. But what was your question again? About the yes and no, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and are there any repercussions to abusing the system?
I mean,
being untruthful with it.
I'd like to think there was. I mean, when you go back to the spirit world, you'll have a lot of answers to questions to answer for, yeah. You know, because you are robbing people, really.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
As well.
And the best one that I always get on here is, can you tell me my future? What's my future? Well, I'll tell you what. You pay me £50 and I'll sit here and I'll tell you, you're going to have a nice house, you're going to have a nice car, you're going to get your dream job, you'll end up with the man of your dreams, you're going to have a couple of kids, you're going to live happily ever after. Boom.
I that divination.
Boom, thanks for your £50.
Is that divination?
No, it's just fortune telling.
It's divination, ain't it?
Oh, is he?
I think it's, well,
Divination, bro.
according to this program, anyway.
Okay, well, I don't know. I just know it as fortune telling. You know, for me, and again, we do talk at Circle about stuff, because I still go to Circle, even though I've been in the game for 15 years. I still like to go to Circle and sit with others and meditate. You know, it's not something that you really stop doing, and it's nice just to be around other people doing it. But
Well, it's for example, it's like swimmers, you know what I mean? Them professional swimmers.
yeah,
They don't need to do it anymore, but that's where they find comfort.
yeah,
It's where you find comfort.
it is.
Sorry, so I was going to bring up as well, like remembering the stuff as well. You've always said to me, like when you've done a reading, and you've done a good reading, you tend to forget it.
Yeah.
Because you've given all the information.
You've given all the information, so you don't need to remember anything. And that is, again, that's another sign, you know, that you can watch out for. My biggest thing as well is asking questions in a way that's subtle, that you don't realise. I was watching somebody earlier today, and it was just like,
I can't read that for me.
I don't know, you have to read
I tried
it.
meditating today. How do you do it? Stuff was just popping in my head.
What should I said?
Oh, I'll dream fortunes sometimes. You can dream me one.
Yeah, the lottery numbers would be nice. Now, let me just answer this question, and then I'll come to the ones on TikTok sec. What was your question again? 'Cause I
About
forgot.
forgetting the evidence when you've given
Yeah. If you've given an honest reading and you've given all the evidence that's came through, there is no reason for you to remember that reading. It's got nothing to do with you, and two, it was for that person.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you see a medium again, and they go, "Oh God, yeah, I remember you, and I told you this and I told you that," and how can you remember that? You shouldn't be able to. If you've given an honest and true message to somebody from their loved ones...
Don't get me wrong, you don't completely forget it, dear. You might remember bits of what you've said.
Little bits, yeah, but I'm on about, like, you know, they'll verbatim tell you exactly what they said before they give you the new message.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a shame, really, because a lot of people do turn to spiritualism in times of need. And if somebody can see that you're in that need... they can manipulate you, and it's very easily done because we're all human at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of mediums that I hate are the ones that get you crying, and then instead of trying to move on and, you know, and be positive and try and show you what's coming up or what's going on around you, they feed on that negativity and they get you upset even more. What is that proving? It's proving nothing. And all you're doing is upsetting and re-traumatising that person. So if you get evidence like that, you give it, and then you moving forward. You try and ask the spirit world, okay, give me something, you know, to help move them forward. Give me some happy times, happy memories, laughs, places where they went on holiday where it was good times. You know what I mean? Stuff that's gonna turn those tears into happy tears rather than sad tears. Again, I don't ever predict. And this is why I say I don't do future readings, because I just don't. But sometimes Spirit will take me to the end of the year, or they'll take me to the middle of the year, and they'll just make it a little bit of a warm spot. So that's just my symbol. Look, I know things are shite now, but just stick with it, keep moving forward. And I feel the summertime, things will pick up, or near the winter, things are going to be better. And then if they ever take me to Christmas, that is my symbol that this Christmas was really crap, or something went wrong, somebody didn't turn up, something like that, and that this Christmas will be better. That's really the only reason I get Christmas, like if it's a year in front, or I should say this Christmas coming up, pardon myself, not a year in front, this Christmas coming up.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I remember we went to church, and it was when we'd been doing Circle and that.
Yeah.
And that we were doing a service church. And I can't remember who was... I think it was Darren.
Would have been
I think Darren was giving the service church. And then he looked at me and he went, "Have you got something?" And I'm sitting there, shitting my pants, going, "No." And he's like, "You have. I know you have. I can tell you by your face." And I was like, "I have, yeah." And he's like, "Well, come up then." And like, you know, there's not many people there, but I'm like,
you're so nervous,
shaking like a shitting dog, and he's like, "Fucking hell." Stop laughing.
I can't help it, sorry.
It's really loud when you laugh.
I have a very wheezy laugh, I do apologise. Oh, shit. Shaking like a shitting dog. Oh, right. That's gold.
Right, and I remember what I give, and I know they say that you're meant to forget, but I think it was because it was my first
time
where I gave evidence and it was correct. And I remember getting up, and there was this woman, and I says, "I've got to come to you, my love." And I says, "I've got a gentleman here, and he's bringing me a cup of coffee," right? And I remember saying, "He's also giving me toast." I said, "But he's also dipping the toast in the coffee and eating it." Now, my dad used to do that with tea, so that's what I pictured him in my head when this was happening. And I was thinking, why? And she was like, "Yeah, I can tell that. That's what they used to do. They used to put the toast in the coffee and make it soggy and eat it."
People still do that with tea.
Buttered as well.
That's what my dad used to do. So that was your symbol to show you, this is what your dad did, this is what I did. Rather than wasting loads of energy trying to explain it, That was your symbol. This is what your dad used to do. This is what I did, but with coffee.
And then I think I brought through a pie or something like that.
Yeah. Mary, what are they now? The ones in the tin.
Fray Bentos.
Fray Bentos.
Fray
Fray Bentos pie.
Yeah.
My favourite.
You remember more than I do. Yeah, Fray Bentos pie, and I think it was a chicken and mushroom with minced beef and onion.
Do you know why I remember that?
And cast Ambridge tea.
Because that was for Pat in Circle. And I remember that because I was proud of you, because I knew you were doubting yourself, and that should have given you the confidence there to know that what you were getting was from the spirit world.
But it is very, very hard to think, is this just me chatting shit?
It is hard to think, am I just
that is
chatting?
the hardest part, I think, about all mediumships.
Yeah.
The meditating, and stuff like that, that's all the easy bit. It's the stuff that comes after then.
Yeah.
Is it my head playing tricks? That's the hardest bit about it.
And that is where you've got to have that 110% trust in spirit. And that is what Lil and Carol have always said to us. If you don't have that 110% trust in spirit and belief that what you're getting is the truth and pure energy, then you shouldn't be working. And that's why he doesn't, because he knows he can do it, he just doesn't believe it.
I mean, I remember in Spirit, in Circle as well, we was doing something about like a trust for it.
Oh, with the tornado thing. Oh,
yeah, and then you get Spirit to catch you. And oh my god, that shit was crazy, man. That was crazy. But the best ever thing we ever did in Circle, hands down, was the Transfiguration with the red lights.
With the red lights.
That shit was... Darren went from looking like Ease to Dad.
He was a big fellow, like myself. Chubby cheeked, and he went from that to looking like my dad on death's door.
Sunken things, sunken eyes, and his fucking
nose changed.
What do you call that? Like a moustache.
Natasha. Yeah.
Like handlebars. Because that's who he used to have it.
Yeah. Just a little top bit here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just you have a little bit like Liam's got. Like, just imagine Liam's little top bit there. That's all he used to have.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah.
And I thought, I went to Scott there, I went, that's Dad, that is it. And he went, and I was like, that's Dad, definitely.
And I was like that because I didn't really like my dad.
No.
But again, those stories will probably come out in future podcasts. But yeah. I've been called to time because we're only allowed to work for an hour.
Yeah. Do you want to just answer a couple of questions on there? We've got time for that.
Yeah. Let me just pull it forward so I can read.
I just want to say, Fray Bentos chicken pie is absolutely stunning. I still have them now.
Scroll a bit because we missed the...
So they're all helping each other because I've got a little nice community being built. So we all
nice.
they all talk and help each other and stuff. It's great.
What I'll do is I'll just pause that.
Oh, hello. Right. So sorry. Yeah, my brother Messi. Poltergeists. Oh, bless you. Sorry, it's Mr. Saul. Bless you. I know, Emma Sweet. You're all right. Poltergeists. I've never dealt with a poltergeist. I've dealt with negative energies, and again, that'll be something that those kind of podcasts, we will just do one session on and just focus on them, and because there's a lot to understand.
And banshees.
That's just Scott's laugh.
I was going to say it's just my laugh. I have heard about banshees, but I mean mythical stuff like that. But but poltergeist, yeah, that'll be something we talk about in a longer podcast on its own because there's a lot of negative energy and stuff that needs to be explained and talked about. But I have kind of dealt with two really negative energies, and one was at Jodie's, and I walked in her house, and all of a sudden it felt like the back of my legs had been standing right next to a red hot pipe, and I burnt myself. And I just happened to say, have you got the heating on? And she went, no, I don't have the heating on. And I rolled up my trouser legs, and across both the back of my legs was as if I'd been whacked with a stick. And that energy was trying to stamp its mark and scare me into feeling and thinking that it was in control and it was going to control the situation. Well, it controlled fucking nothing, and it got shoved out that door quicker than you can say boo to a ghost. And then the other one was at this lady's house. Me and Carol walked in, and then she walked in the living room and she went, "Are you coming in, Scott?" And I went, "Okay, Carol." I physically could not move my legs past the front door, past the living room door. She went, "What do you mean?" I went, "This energy don't want me in that room." And I don't know how else to explain it, but just imagine there being an invisible door and I'm trying to walk in through it and it just wouldn't budge. And it wasn't until it got distracted by Carol going into the kitchen where it was actually hiding and it was projecting its energies out, and then it flung some tea coasters. And as it flung the tea coasters, it moved its energy away from the door and I could get in, and then it was gone by then. It knew it had no chance, and we had to close 2 portals. But it did take me and Carol a good 20 minutes, half an hour, but I was standing by the living room door for 10 minutes. I couldn't get in the room. So that was probably the negative. Oh, and then the one at Matthews, which was hiding in a picnic box. I don't know if I ever told you about that.
Yes.
We'd been to... This was Carol's son. Well, it is Carol's son. Sorry, she's in spirit world. But he's still here. It was in his daughter's bedroom. They kept saying that some tapping was waking the baby up, so we went round once. We shut down a couple of things, and then Carol said, "Scott, we've got to go back." And I went, "Okay, Carol." And I'm just walking around the room, and again, I'm no bloody scientific bloke, but I kind of have to put my right arm out when I'm feeling for negative energy. I don't know why, but when I know I've got next to it, me feels like me right arm's gone numb and tingly. And as I went past this picnic box, it felt like my arm had dropped off, and I went, "Carol, it's that picnic box." I went, "What?" I went, "It's in that picnic box." I went, stupid as it sounds. And she went, "Okay." And she went, "Can I open it?" And I went, "I'd rather you not." And she went, "Can I just open it?" And when she opened it, I can feel the same energy now. It was as if I had just been drenched in a cold shower, and you know, and you get them really cold shivers and it's all like goosebumpy. My entire body went like that. And I went, "Carol, that's got to go. We need to get whatever energy's with it out the way, and that needs to go." And I got rid of that, and then there was no problems ever since. But you know, it can be something as stupid as that. And the one at Jodie's happened to be one of the toys that she'd bought from a charity shop. Just carried some negative energy for one of the kids' toys. Oh, and if you get rid of that, you'll get rid of this energy. It won't come back. She got rid of it, and I've never been back round there for negative energy. I've gone around to do private readings, but I've never been back for another negative energy. You know, so it's...
No, we never went there, did we?
No. You know, so it's trusting in what spirit are telling you and knowing that they ain't going to see you wrong. But, I mean, I can come to the house and do a clearance. I have done house clearances before.
You ever done that sage?
Yeah, you do use sage. Sage is a smudger, yes. We call it smudging, and that helps keep negative energies away from you.
Okay.
But house clearances I've done, which is what I'm on about now, and if you do feel that you've got negative energy and I can get to you, I am more than happy to just to come round and have a little look, see if anything needs moving. But I do generally ask Lil and Carol from the spirit world to come to your house, and you might go, "Well, you don't even know where I live." I don't need to. I'm talking to you, so they know who I'm talking to, and they know where you are, so they can come to you that way. And there's a lady that's in my chat tonight, so I won't say her name, but she can speak up if she wants to. She's messaged me the last couple of days, and we got rid of some energy, and then she kind of felt that he'd come back, so I've sent my friends back and the energies have settled again. But I've said to her, if it happens again, I'll just come round myself. But you can send the spirit world round yourself to do stuff. But I think we're going to leave it there, guys. This was just a little bit of a first run through, a first test, I guess.
Yeah.
Gone a little bit longer than we wanted to, but once I get rambling, I can't shut the frig up. But it's a passion, and I love the spirit world. It's my passion, and I will defend it till death. So I will thank you all for listening.
Sending off on the podcast. Good night.
So, thank you very much, guys. This is episode 1 of Soulful Insights. Now, Soulful Stories.
Soulful Stories!
Soulful Stories. Cut that, editor. Me. Right, thank you very
Stories.
much, guys.
Yes, guys.
For
Good night.
Soulful Stories. Good night.
Good night.